Okay, so this is an extension activity for the comprehension skill. If you haven't read this story already, the video for that is linked below. But we are going to sequence the events to summarize the major plot points of the story. So I have already put this in, and we're going to go through each event and talk about the significance to the story. So the first event is that Francis is kidnapped and separated from his family. Now, if this event never happened, there would be no story because they wouldn't be together and they wouldn't be escaping the Comancheros. And Francis would still be with his family and probably not in this part of the world. So the second event is that Jason Grimes rescues Francis and teaches him how to survive. So this is where Francis really learns all of those survival skills that come in handy later in the story. But Jason Grimes is also a supporting character who helps the kids escape. The third event is that Francis teams up with Lottie and Billy. Lottie and Billy were, of course, left behind by their family because they died of chloria in the story. So Francis teams up with them and is helping them to survive in this part of the world. The fourth event is that Grimes helps Francis, Lottie, and Billy escape the Comancheros. If you remember, Grimes leaves footprints and he tries to lead the Comancheros in the wrong direction. So the next event is that Francis, Lottie, and Billy are hot and tired and they're trying to avoid leaving tracks in the desert so they won't be found. The next event after that is that a sudden storm sends the children to seek shelter under an overhang. So because it's storming, the rain washes away their tracks and prevents them from being found. So they do get to safety at the end of the story. So a few other things I want you guys to be mindful of as we read this story, and you can go back and listen to it again. But there are a few things that you want to be mindful of that are present within the story that help tell the story and really help you understand the sequence of which things are happening in the story. So, of course, we have sequence of events, which is what we just outlined. There's also flashbacks, and we have those flashbacks in the first 2 pages where we're explaining how Billy and Lottie came to find Francis and how Francis came to find Jason. A flashback is a description of past events that interrupts the story's main action. So this is actually a story that's not told in linear form. We start in the present, then we go toward the past to explain how they came into contact, and then we go back to the present. So a metaphor. Now, there are some really interesting metaphors for you guys to keep an eye out for. We talked about these on Friday before we left. So a metaphor is a comparison between two unlike things. And then, of course, we have vivid words in the story that help paint a picture for the reader to follow and understand what is happening in the story. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and feel free to comment how you are keeping yourselves entertained during this time. I've been hanging out with my cat, I've been knitting, and I've been catching up on some of my favorite shows that I don't always get to watch during the school year, so feel free to leave comments, and I'd love to hear from each of you and know how you guys are doing.